Hello, and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. I am so glad to be back. I missed all of you. Hopefully, you can catch us today for our live. And if not, always know that you can come back and catch these as a rebroadcast either on Facebook or on my YouTube page. So if you're new, I know we have a lot of new subscribers, especially on YouTube. I want to take a second to introduce myself. My name is DYANN Parham. I am the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. We have helped thousands of women all over the world really take a look at how it is they're aging as they're transitioning through these menopausal seasons and create a lifestyle for themselves where they have the opportunity to look and feel their best. And we hope that that's why you're here as well. So welcome. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button or that like button on YouTube. Also hit that little bell notification. If you're joining us on Facebook, please make sure you're following and are set up to receive all notifications as well. If you're interested in jumping into our intermittent fasting course, we do have one starting on June the 3rd. I can't believe it's already June. We just graduated our May 2023 course, and I'm super excited for them and proud of them as well. So welcome. Okay, so we are going to talk today about how intermittent fasting can help us eliminate the biggest problems that so many of us have with weight loss, struggling with weight loss, losing weight, gaining weight, all the things. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. Please make sure you use the comment section to introduce yourself. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you've graduated from class and how you're doing, or if you're anticipating joining us for the June class. We like to use this time live to engage in the comment section with our community whenever we can. Okay, so let's talk about the biggest problem with weight loss. The biggest problem with losing weight for anyone, but specifically us women, because we seem to be the ones that are targeted to the most, is the conflicting rules that we have about food, right? Conflicting rules that we have about how we're supposed to take care of ourselves based on someone who's a stranger letting us know that they know more about us than we know, and that we should just not think and follow all of their rules. Also identified as diets, right? And so what intermittent fasting has done for so many women, especially here in this community, is given you back your power, giving you back the opportunity to realize you know what's best for you and to just determine for yourself how long you are going to fast today and how well you are going to feast today. And we get to make those two decisions for ourselves every single day once we understand what the benefits of intermittent fasting can provide for us and how it is we want to show up most authentically in our life. Food information is basic. It is basic. We know from just general information the difference between healthy food and unhealthy food. There's never a debate about that. What we get conflicted on is when someone else's rules are packaged up and marketed to us as a diet, and it's that way or the highway. And we know that that doesn't really work for us long term because we've all done that, right? We've all bought into that philosophy. We've all bought into that concept, whether mentally and emotionally or financially bought into those things. And they work for as long as they work. And then when we realize we are not living our most authentic life and we just don't want to live under those, like, I don't know, restrictions, I guess, and all those rules anymore, we tend to just default back to where we were struggling before. And so the struggle never really ends. And that's one of the beautiful things that I love about intermittent fasting is, girlfriend, you get to make up your own rules. You just need to understand what the basic scientific facts are about fasting and where you can reap the most benefits for you. And then you get to just make decisions on how long you want to live in that state and what you want to do in that environment for you and your body and your future self. And then when you decide you're going to open up your feasting window, you get to pick the food. And as long as you're picking food for you that doesn't have you questioning how it is you're showing up for yourself or how it is you're feeling every day, girl, you're winning at life. It is that simple. And that's really what I like to teach inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. Like, it can be really simple. We just really have to go back to the basics. I'm just going to do nothing during my fasted state that's going to interrupt what it is I say that I really want for myself. And then when I choose to open up my environment to feasting, am I going to bring common sense with me? Am I going to bring some honesty with me? Am I going to look at food and ask the questions about how this is going to make me feel later? And then am I going to make honest decisions about that feasting process so that tomorrow's fast is going to feel great again? We like to teach here that we feast to fast because when we feast, we're setting ourselves up for how our body's going to process that hormonally the next day. And if you're not feeling good through your fast the next day, it's always the product of what you chose during your feasting window. So the biggest benefit that intermittent fasting is providing for so many of us and how it's helping so many of us not only lose weight, but keep it off is that we are just not following someone else's conflicting rules about food anymore. And we're not following a diet. We're opening ourselves up to anything that does allow us the opportunity to look and feel our best and do that in our most authentic way so we can keep showing up with our power. I always like to remind everyone here in this community, and we used to have shirts that said this, and we're probably going to have some shirts again that say this, is that intermittent fasting is not a diet. And I know it likes to be packaged up and sold like a diet because that's marketing, but intermittent fasting is really just a timing thing. How long are you going to stay in a fasted state and allow your body to reap whatever benefits that you're looking for from fasting? How long are you going to let that body, your body have the opportunity to let that happen for itself? Because your body does that on its own. Just get out of its way. And then how well are you going to feast when you open up your feasting window? 2 blocks in your 24-hour day of deciding how long you're going to fast and reap those benefits, and deciding how well you're going to set yourself up for the next day when you open up your feast, and then allow yourself to live a life where you can be happy and also healthy. It is so easy peasy, it almost gets missed. And I know that there are, because I hear it all the time, but I heard to do this, or I heard to do that, or I heard to do this, and taking the easy out of this process and trying to sell it as something that should be more complicated than it is. Just go back to easy. How long are you going to fast today? How well are you going to feast today? Rinse and repeat those 2 things. Allow for memory making moments. And I promise you, girlfriend, you will live a happy and healthy life for many, many years to come. Take out all the conflicts. You do not need to follow a diet that someone else has designed. You get to make food choices for you. And then all the things that you say that you want for yourself will start to fall into place. This is what we do here in this community. We do, in fact, rinse and repeat this concept. It is so, like I said, it is so easy, it almost gets missed. Just let all the nonsense go. Let all the noise go. Question who's telling you things. Wonder where that information is coming from. Maybe test some of those things out. But I heard, go test that out. How did that work for you? It might be the thing that you've been missing, and it's the piece of the puzzle you've been searching for, and it might just be complete nonsense for you, complicating your life and not necessary for you to add it in. You're going to be able to make those decisions for yourself once you get that power back. So like I said, this is what we teach inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I know in a video before I went on my little break, I said something about we're changing things, and I think a lot of people took that as we're not going to offer the Intermittent Fasting course anymore. Excuse me. We are in fact still offering it. Like I said, we do have one starting this weekend. I will always offer that course. It's just the way that we're going to be rolling it out is going to be different, and you'll in July, I believe it is, be able to join any day of the month that you decide you're ready to come into our community and make these choices for yourself. We're not going to have it starting on just one weekend a month. So those are the changes we're making. The intermittent fasting course will always be available. We do teach it from the mindset approach. So I'm going to ask you in class to think and feel, and really evaluate your relationship with food, because when you can get that relationship up and running and in a healthy place for you, then all the other things that you're going to have going on in your life just become so much simpler as well. Before I open up the comments for our community and questions for our community, I wanted to also let you guys know, because you asked me to do this to make sure that I don't stop talking about this, so you know when there are deals. Our friends at FRÉ have just come out with an amazing skincare edition, and it is their SPF Protect Me and Glow Me Plus. This is not a sponsored video, but I am an ambassador for their company, and so I always like to make sure you guys know the best deals. This is a SPF 30 100% mineral-based sunscreen. No white casting. White casting is that really frustrating thing that happens, when you put sunscreen on and you get like that gray tint to your skin. None of their SPFs have white casting. It works for all skin types and all skin shades. So this is available to anyone and everyone who wants to protect their skin. I have all three: the no tint, which is called Protect Me; the Glow Me Plus, which is a light medium tint. I have that on today. I just use it underneath my foundation. And then they also have a medium deep, which I use on my no makeup days. And I want to go out and run around and have some SPF protection. I use this not only on my face, I use it on my neck, I use it on my chest, I use it on my arms, and I use it on the back of my hands as well. My daughter and I are getting ready to go take a little business trip to Hawaii, and we're bringing all three of these with us. So we'll give you a report back of how it works in vacation mode as well. But for Memorial Day, they're having a 35% off sale on everything on their site when you use my code DYANN. It's through May 31st. Go grab yourself some skin protection, because not only are we trying to keep our skin as youthful as possible, we also want to make sure we're protecting it from some of those damaging things that happen when we're living our best life outside. So grab yourself some sunscreen. Offer valid through May 31st, 35% off when you use DYANN. You can also grab anything else on their site for that discount as well. And as always, if you have any questions about anything that I talk about here and want to get a code, you can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com /codes, and you can get links there. But I'm going to post this one in the comment section because I think it's super important. Oh, that's for the course. Let me grab the codes for the FRÉ also, so that you guys can go check out their site. You guys know this is the only skincare line that I use. I love all of their products. They have been very good for my skin, and I have very sensitive skin. So if you're looking for something non-toxic, vegan, no harmful chemicals or whatever, FRÉ Skincare is the line for us. And they love our For Today's Aging community. They're always hooking us up. So go check them out. Okay, so let me see who's here and what questions and comments that we have. Sherry's here. Hey, beautiful. Last week I did 1 meal a day and felt fantastic. Energized, sense of calm was amazing. I did 18.6 over the weekend and returned to 22.2 the rest of the week. Sherry, that comment right there is a perfect example of what I talk about here in this community. Find what works for you and rinse and repeat. And I love that you're rolling in a bunch of different what are called protocols of intermittent fasting, but it's really just you answering the question for yourself every day. How long am I going to fast today? How well am I going to feast today? And you answer yourself very honestly, depending on what your day is doing. Some days it's a 1 meal a day. Some days it's an 18.6. Some days it's a 22.2. And you don't create any drama around that because you've created your most authentic life. So Sherry, so proud of you, my friend. Keep rinsing and repeating. Keep checking back in with us. We love hearing your success. Only 3 days of school left. I will be 24 for the summer break, mixed with an occasional 24-hour fast. I feel fantastic following this lifestyle at 60. Yes, 100%. And go enjoy your summer. The summertime is, a great time to sneak in some of those, like you're going to be doing those little longer fasts, right? Because you don't have any interruptions in your day. So have a great summer, my friend. And remember, if you're going to do any kind of trips or anything, remember our motto here: don't bring it, don't buy it, don't accept it. Fast on the way there, fast on the way back. And while you're in vacation mode, enjoy your vacation to the fullest. You deserve it. Demery, I let my pressure get to me and stopped intermittent fasting because everyone around me wanted me to stop. And then it got all crazy and I wasn't fasting, was eating terrible and felt terrible. And a total snowball effect happened. I've gained back weight, but more than that, I feel terrible. I need to get back on track and stop listening to others. Demery, I 100% agree with that last statement. You have to do what works for you. And if you if you're out and about socially, I want you to pay attention to what other people are talking about while they're also pressuring you not to live your best life, right? Oftentimes, those people who are pressuring us to not do what we found works for us are also complaining about how bad they feel and how much weight they need to lose and how they're not sleeping and how their doctor is like wanting them to um, you know, change their lifestyle habits, and they're managing prescriptions, and they have these hosts of problems that they want you to buy in on. And that never works out for us. So, girlfriend, stand your ground, do what's best for you. Come back here. We're your people. You can share with us what you're doing, and we will cheer you on and encourage you to keep doing what works best for you, because you know you best, right? And so we're always here for you. Just come back whenever you need some love and support. We're here for you. Want to be natural. Hello, my friend. Okay, you guys have any questions or comments before we pop off? We talked today about why it is that intermittent fasting eliminates the biggest problem with weight loss, and that's because it just takes all the conflicting food rules out of the equation. You get to decide what kind of life that you want to live. How long do you want to fast? How well do you want to feast? You answer those questions for you. You don't need information from anyone else. Again, like I said, this is how I teach the intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course. I almost force you to think about what kind of life you want to live. How is it that you want to show up for yourself? What makes you happy? That's the lifestyle that you want to live on, rinse and repeat, because when you are doing things that make you happy, and when you are doing things that allow you to feel like you're living your most authentic life, you will never put yourself in harm's way. You will never put yourself in harm's way because you won't want to do anything that's going to interrupt the good flow you got going on. It's when we do things where we're trying to please others, or we're doing things against what our gut is telling us to do, we stop thinking for ourselves, we blindly follow other people. That's when we really start going down that little snowball effect of putting ourselves in harm's way. And it's just because we've stopped thinking and we stopped trusting ourselves. And I want to make sure that you always know, as especially women, that you have the power to make those decisions for yourself and do your thing. Thank you. I will hang in there. Yeah, Demarie, if you haven't joined class yet, jump in with us this weekend. It'll be the fast track to getting you back on track this weekend, because you will be with like-minded women who are going to be encouraging you. You will get to kind of plant that firm foundation you have for yourself again with this fasting lifestyle. So jump into class with us. And if you've already been in class, go back through your class. Start at day one. Go back through each lesson and just remind yourself of why it is you're doing this for you. And then what will happen is all those people who've been pressuring you are going to go, dang, Demarie, what are you doing? I want to do what you're doing. You look happy. You seem like you're healthy. You have all this energy. We want to jump on your train as opposed to pulling you off of it. And that's really where the magic starts happening. Roanna, less is more. 100%. No major food hauls, no packing food, no weighing food, no doing all those things that we used to do that just sucked the absolute life out of us. You get your life back, and it is super fun. And I really do encourage a lot of mindset work on this, because, you know, I actually had a consult call today, and I wrote down this quote, and I'm going to share it with you guys, from one of my midlife mindset shift course members. She's a graduate member. We had a consult call today. She said, the weight is the system. What did she say? The weight loss part of it is just kind of like the end result that really does signify like all the other things that we were doing that was right, but it's not really the thing that we're chasing anymore, right? And so when you stop chasing weight loss as just the outside result that you want to get, and you start thinking internally about choices that you're making, and you start really tuning into how your body is feeling, the weight part of it is so irrelevant, because you're going to feel so good and be so happy that you're going to make decisions that keep making those things happen for you. And then the weight just naturally falls off. You get to a place where you're just comfortable and confident without struggling to get there. And that is the really hidden magic of the way we live an intermittent fasting lifestyle here. You just get to be you, and that's super fun. Dawn, what about menopausal hormones that wreak havoc on IF? What hormones wreak havoc on IF menopausally are you talking about? And then I can address what it is you're asking there. Susan, August 22 grad, love this lifestyle. Susan, we love having you here, my friend. Thanks for checking in with us. Want to be natural. I need self-control and choose better food choices. Girlfriend, have you been in class with us yet? Remember, food choices come from you just asking yourself those questions. How do you want to feel after the food choice has been made? How do you want to feel? And I wear a necklace. It's has my 4 words on it. It's breathe, pause, think, and ask. Just take a little breath, right? You always know when you're about to make a poor food choice because you're negotiating that in your brain. Ask yourself why you're letting that happen. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? And why wouldn't you just pick the better option? And then also you have to redefine better food choices. Like, are you being too restrictive? Are you denying yourself the foods that make you happy? Like, you have to really do that work. And once you do that work, which has nothing to do with dieting and just has to do with you really showing up for you, it's all the mental and emotional work that we do, then all the things will start to fall in place for you for sure. It's the regret we have after those food choices that are really robbing you of the life that you want to live. D. Sylvester, I'm in the current course. Key takeaway, get out of my head and instead cultivate awareness. What do I want for me? If I get off track, nothing says I can't reset and restart. My friend, thank you for summarizing what it is I aim to have you all learn inside the intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. Get out of my head and instead cultivate awareness. What do I want for me? If I get off track, nothing says I can't reset and restart. 100%, girl. Sending you big hugs. That is exactly the takeaway that I wanted you to have from class. So thank you for showing up for you. Thank you for going all in with us. Thank you for trusting me with you through this process. Now you just rinse and repeat, and all the things will just keep falling into place for you. Roanna, went up 4 pounds, no problem. Getting back on track, no panic. Yeah, women's weight does this all the time. I consider that a sign of being alive. Give yourself a little window, minus plus or minus 10. If I go too far over 10, I got to really look at what I'm doing. Am I being too loosey-goosey? Am I making too many exceptions? Am I, allowing things to interrupt what it is I want for my fasted state? And if I go too far under the 10, then I also have to look at things too, right? Am I being too restrictive with how it is I'm living my life? Am I exercising too much? All of those things. And if you give yourself that little 10 pounds, then that weight loss, weight gain thing is, again, it's just that thing of like, yep, I'm alive today and I'm a woman. My weight is going to go up and down and it's totally fine. Want to be natural. I'm not sure if I'm losing weight or muscle. Well, it takes a lot to lose muscle. Like, you have to do very specific things to lose muscle. And what I really want you to put your time and effort and energy on is the thought you have about the bad food choices. If you can fix that thought and how you show up for yourself in food decision-making situations, the weight loss, are you losing weight or losing muscle part is not going to be a concern of yours because you're doing the right things. It takes a lot for us to lose muscle, and lose muscle has more to do with just food choices. Are you actually doing things to maintain muscle or build muscle? Because that's an actual active participation sport. And are you engaging in that as well? We like to use the fat and muscle loss thing as fear mongering. And it really does mess with us a lot in our head. You're not going to eat away at your muscle as long as you have fat available. And if you're doing the right things, if you're moving your body in a way that's going to maintain or build muscle and you're supplying good nutrients to your body, girlfriend, you got anything to worry about. Susie, I'm new to IF. I have only done it for 2 weeks. I'm doing 16-8 currently. My question is, how many calories can I have while fasting? I only drink water and take supplements. I love your approach. I don't know. How many calories do you need while fasting? This is covered in the first week inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. No one can ever give you, and Susie, don't ever take this as good advice if someone gives you a number that says you need to go eat this based on just a question like that. No one knows. The calorie thing is such a myth. Are you getting the right nutrients when you're making your feasting choices to support the lifestyle that you say that you want for yourself? Do you have energy? Are you moving about your day well? Are you sleeping well? Are you seeing, significant changes in how your skin is your hair staying in your head? Like, all of those things are the questions that we really want to be asking about what it is we should be doing in our feasting window. It has nothing to do with calories, because I could go eat 1,200 calories of completely nutrient negative food, and I can go eat 1,200 calories of nutrient dense food, and I'm going to end up with a completely different result. So, are you eating the nutrients that your body needs to support the lifestyle that you say that you want? When you can answer that honestly with yourself, one, you won't have to ask anybody else for that kind of advice. And two, you'll know you hit your target, because that's all we're really looking for. Becky, I have a necklace that says be still. Great reminder to pause. Excellent reminder to pause, my friend. Pausing is is a very underrated skill set to have. It's really hard for people to just pause and think before they take the next step. And so that's what I like to teach here and encourage you guys to do as well. Pause. Make sure you're pausing, asking yourself the right questions. Don't just do things in a reactionary, unconscious state that will always get us in trouble. Wanna be natural. I missed my class. Do I have to repay? You missed it. If you've registered, you have access to your lessons. That's all you need. Just go listen to your lessons. The first week of lessons are going to change everything with what you got going on, my friend. Sylvia, once you stop using food as a distraction and mood changer, it is freaky what kind of thoughts and feelings surface. I made it a habit of writing them down and then processing them while I have time. Yes, girl, you're doing the work, because our thoughts are really what create our feelings. So if you have negative thoughts, you're going to have negative feelings. If you have positive thoughts, you're going to have positive feelings. And then pay attention to when you're in those states of feeling, what do you do? And those, if you don't like the decisions that you're making, the actions that you're taking, you have to go back and realize that it started from how you're thinking. And it's a really cool process to start to work through once you get practice at it. And that's what we do inside the Midlife Mindset Shift course. And so good to see you live again. Sylvia, I missed you guys, but I definitely needed the break. But it is good to be back for sure. Denying myself. Don't deny yourself, my friend. You deserve more than being denied by you. Go back and watch your lessons in class. Come back here on Mondays and Thursdays. We will be your cheerleaders. We'll be your motivators. We'll hold you accountable, but you got to show up for you. We can't show up for you. So go back into your class lessons. Christy, July 22 grad. We just had a few events where many of our family and friends saw us for the first time in a while. They all wanted to know what my husband and I were doing. As soon as we shared our IF journey, many immediately thought, oh, I can't do that. Well, they are right and are not ready to make the changes required to live as we are living 24 forever. Yes, isn't that so funny how people think, right? They're like, oh my gosh, you guys look so healthy. You have so much energy. What the heck were you doing? Oh, we're just not, eating all day. Oh my gosh, I could never do that. They just haven't tried, right? And that's that conditioning and all the conflicting rules and all the diets and all the fear mongering that goes on in society. When you learn how to fast correctly for the lifestyle that you say you want to live, it is absolute magic. So, girlfriend, I'm so proud of you and your husband for living in magic. Okay, thanks. I registered. Okay, so go back to your lessons. Go back to your lessons and review them, and then bring any questions you have or any struggles you have to here. That's what we have this live coaching for us to help you and to answer any questions. And then if you're struggling, you have to get into class, because there's only so much I can share here. There's only so much I can coach. You have to do this work. And inside of class, I teach you to do this work for 3 weeks. I ask you to just be selfish with you and really unpack some of the bad conditioning that some of us have with food. I had it myself. I had to do all the unpacking also. So it is a really fun time to just live in your power while you're in the intermittent fasting class. I encourage everyone to jump in. Dawn, I went off HRT in March and went into instant menopause. I'm having difficulty controlling food cravings and having serious hot flashes. I've gained 8 pounds after almost reaching goal weight. So, this is where you have to go back and go, okay, why did you go off HRT? Did you go off? So you have to have that strong why of why you went off that, so that now repositioning your body without hormones controlling you, you have to now go in and adjust to that. It's just, you just have to adjust to that. It's not magic. It's not going to happen on its own. And so having difficulty controlling food cravings is one of those things you have to work on the thoughts of that. Are you using fasting? Fasting is the best way to balance out those cravings because you're going to reset your hunger hormones. Is it emotional cravings? Is it physiological cravings? You have to decide that as well. The hot flashes are just an imbalance in hormones. So you just have to get those balanced out again. And you just took hormones out of your body. So now you got to give your body the opportunity to adjust to the fact that it's not being controlled anymore and let it control itself. And then the 8 pounds will adjust. You just did this to your body, right? You're like, hey, I'm going to take these hormones and I'm going to like make it easy for you to keep all of this stuff balanced and in control. And then you're like, and now I'm going to take them away. And your body's throwing a temper tantrum. How long do you want that temper tantrum to go on? And if the decision you made to get off HRT is one that you're willing to live with, then you also have the power to control everything else that's going on. There's so many women in this community who are not using HRT and are doing fine. So it's not the fact that you aren't on HRT that you're having hot flashes or the cravings or the 8 pounds. It's just you haven't adjusted to not being on it. And you got to give yourself some grace for that, for sure. And then, just lean into your fasting. Medically necessary to go off HRT per my doctor. Been successfully doing IF for 6 months. January grad of your class. Go back to your lessons, Dawn. Go back to your lessons, because this is the life you have to live now. This is the body that you're going to have to live in. So for medical purposes. So what you need to do is learn how to live with this body. It's a new body to you because it's not being controlled. So go back into your class, go to lesson 1, lesson 2, like listen to them as if you were in class and reframe your brain. Get back into 20 hours of clean fasting. Drink your water, get your magnesium in you. You have to purposely detox those hormones out of your body and give your body the opportunity to have a clean slate. And once you get that clean slate, everything else will just go back to the way it was, right? So give your body a chance. Trust your body, trust you with your body, and everything will smooth out. Susie, thank you. I'm interested in figure out what is the best for my body. What you're saying is making sense. Yes, of course, because our bodies are our bodies are magical. They have been designed to take care of us. We have been sold the idea that we need to control our body, and our body is very capable of doing that. So I'll give it a chance. It's fun when you step into that power. And we talk about that a lot here. For our new people, we talk a lot about women stepping into their power. And when you can sit in a state of hungry and feel totally empowered about you as a woman, the decisions you're making, the life that you're living, it's magical. And you don't need quick fixes. You don't need those snacks. You don't need to pop any pills. You don't need to have any drinks. Like, you just get to own that feeling on your own, generated from your own amazing body, which is such a miracle, right? And so we just have to get out of the way sometimes. So excited to be back. So excited to have you all here. We have a great group of people here. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me and it helps our community as far as getting our message out into the hands of women who need to hear from us. Please make sure you're hitting that like, all the things, because it is what is making this community so strong and so powerful, is that little click that you guys do on Facebook as well. Make sure you're liking the page and and following over there. It's a really simple ask that I have from you guys, so that we can keep showing up here and supporting our community and getting women into class and as graduates so they can live their most authentic life as well. Linda, so tired of hearing people push protein to build muscle. I like you're teaching on protein much better. Yeah, there are a lot of philosophies with that as well. But if you're force feeding yourself food that you're not getting joy from and you're not seeing any benefits from, you're just force feeding yourself food from someone else's philosophy. So if you're liking what you see in the mirror and you're feeling good and you're feeling strong, then just don't deny yourself, right? And just allow food to naturally fall into your feasting window and everything works out. Everything always works out. Okay, I've got to run. I've got a coaching call I need to do with my midlife mindset shift course. If you're a graduate of our community and you like this type of coaching and this philosophy for living life, I do recommend jumping into our group coaching program. It's called the Midlife Mindset Shift. It's where we do a lot of this deep dive into how it is we're thinking and how those thoughts are making us feel and how that ends up translating into the decisions we're making about our life. And it's a really, really fun group of women. It's a very close-knit group of women. We all have built some pretty good relationships, some really nice trust with each other. And so if you're looking for that as a woman, we would love to have you in. You can send me an email or you can fill out the form on my website at fortoday'sagingwoman.com. Last reminder, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, where I break all this down and give you the power and permission to make decisions for yourself and the body that you say that you want to live in for years to come. Registration is open. You can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com, find out more, or you can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com. You can click the link there to get more information from our sales page. Link is in the comment section below. Don't put off taking care of you. Don't put off the opportunity to create the life that you say that you want to live. If you're feeling it in your bones or in your soul that this might be something for you, I always recommend jumping in with us, because by the end of June, everything will fall into place for you. And there'll be some pretty significant changes going on with you and your body as well. All right. I will see you guys on Thursday. That feels good to say, where we will have another live coaching call and community conversation. I hope you will come back and join us for our community time together. I think that women living in community is the best thing that we can do for ourselves, especially as we're going through these aging years and these transitions with, empty nesting and all the things that go on for us. Having a community is super important to me. I hope it's important to you as well. And I appreciate you being here with us. Have a good rest of your Monday. If you're on a break today, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.